what's poppin'? It's your boy buffcorrell, baby. Back him up at that levels again. We back again. Tell a friend your boy Buff 11213. As I got to wanting to be myself and doing this, and what I feel like doing was come inside of me. That's when the fat went away, and that's when I became just being myself finally. I used to didn't do it before, and I didn't think my voice sounded good. And one day I did it, and my voice sounded real good to me. So it's just a habit that just kept going on. I didn't want to stop doing it. Already say go. Top off, if I can feed you, take
Correll Bufford, yes, that is his real name, is a very handsome 41-year-old YouTuber, bodybuilder, dancer, fitness model, and former US Army soldier. Damn, I'm literally the one that wrote this script and did all the research, and yet I'm still discovering more and more about this man. He's mostly known for his absolutely gorgeous singing voice, his dashing brow and greased back hair, and his many self-portraits shoddily taped to his wall like a serial killer posts up his next victim to throw darts at. Correll began his main channel all the way back in 2011, along with many other YouTube giants that rose to fame in that age, some actually being surpassed by Correll within the confines of relevancy or even a fandom with actual sense behind it. If you're a young, naive child trying to watch your Among Us baby Cocomelon compilation, you are 100% deterred from Correll's very presence. I mean, look at him. Look at him. If you're expecting some kind of origin story or explanation for everything he does, you might struggle a bit. He honestly just came right out of the gate, sang his songs, did his dances, and hasn't stopped since. He's one of those YouTube channels you subscribe to just for the sake that it might be a personal lolcow, or something to laugh at in the background for when you're bored or something like that. But eventually you may find a genuine interest as to why or how this person managed to keep up with doing what they do for all these years. Correll has covered a variety of songs, from Justin Bieber
Trust me, Squidward.
to Cyndi Lauper. All beautifully and wonderfully. With 3 channels, the older 2 of the 3 being abandoned, buffcorrell's videos across all channels mainly involve himself singing along to songs of his choosing via karaoke while stylishly schmoovin' in the mirror. But before he just goes right into that, he has to make sure he does his warm-ups. His warm-ups are practically the same in every single video, spouting what I think is motivation. You know, the let's get it done type of speech to get himself to go out and do it.
So let's give out further ado. Already say go.
You know, his motivation might just be incoherent, psychotic ramblings, but I'm just saying, it would actually move me if I knew what the fuck he was saying. Now, you must be wondering, Sad Bulldog, why would you make a video on this weird dude that I'll probably just forget about as soon as I'm done watching this stupid video of yours? Well, here's the thing. This video isn't just going to be about Correll. I'm going to explain the idea of how to maintain a lasting and consistent legacy on a platform such as YouTube. You see, now it's difficult, but Correll is the king of his own genre, doing what he pleases and still getting views in the process. He may not have many as he did in his prime, but he still gets views. But then again, the idea of singing and dancing in the mirror isn't anything new, of course. Everyone does something they never do in public when they're alone. But doing it to a crowd of thousands and managing to maintain the same raspy, off-key voice unironically for 12 plus years every single fucking day is legendary. Some of you are probably instantly convinced that Correll is just a very dedicated troll due to the content he makes.
Hey!
On a website called Honeysoit, whatever. He was interviewed out of curiosity by Chui Wang. So, sit back, relax, and allow me to read the entire interview to you with my silky smooth yet gravelly rough voice. How'd you get started with making your videos? What motivated you to start posting them online? It was in 2010, and I started working out, and I was trying to better myself, and I didn't like the music on the radio. It had totally changed. I don't know why, I like to imagine Correll as a fucking time traveler or some shit. He just doesn't know anything new. It's so crazy. I just didn't like the music. One of my favorite artists stopped doing his thing, and Michael Jackson had just passed away. So I really wanted to start doing music. I went through with my gym process, and then when I saw my abs, I got so much confidence to follow through. I posted that Beyonce video, which was my first singing video, and got the biggest crowd reaction I've probably ever seen. So, when you say you didn't like the music on the radio in 2010, what sort of music are you into? When I first started, I liked Genuine, Prince, Michael Jackson, and George Michael. Because I had a predominantly black audience, I decided I need to be making R&B videos and neo-type music. My first 1 million view video, a cover of Drunken Love, got on World Star Hip Hop, and that's where a lot of my early audience came from. What was their initial reaction? I got a lot of negative comments starting out. Everyone was just like, "What are you doing? Why do you have a poster of yourself?" I've gotten a lot better at handling the hate throughout the years, but at some point it started invading my personal life. It got out of hand when my co-workers started talking about how I was the guy in the Beyonce video, and people looked at me differently as I got bigger and bigger. What gave you the persistence to keep going despite all the negativity? I just couldn't stop. I wasn't really doing anything in my life, but it was just so much fun. When I was down and out, I used to just drink. But this was better than that. It's become a real passion. I just keep doing it. It doesn't matter if I'm not good at it, I can keep doing it. It doesn't matter if I'm not good at it, and I feel I can keep going if I wanted to. It's about keeping a schedule and proving yourself wrong every day. One thing I've always wondered about your schedule, actually. How do you keep up the pace of uploading multiple videos a day? I wake up at 5 a.m. every day and eat oatmeal and bananas. I cycle to the gym. I'm a real gym rat. I've been with a personal trainer for 5 years, and I probably spend 3 hours working out every day there. Once I'm done with that, I go home. I check who's commenting on the page, and then I get the equipment ready. I iron my pants, listen to the original song a couple of times, and just go for it. And depending how I'm feeling, I might do 3 or 4 a day. You mentioned that before you work? What field do you work in? I used to have a job, cleaning and being a janitor, but not anymore. You see, I was on America's Got Talent last year, and I actually got booed off the stage. It was so humiliating, and I remember walking off into the waiting room with everybody staring, and going back to my hotel and calling my mom. When I got back to work in Arizona, I was so ashamed of myself. I told myself, "You really got to do better than that, man." I just couldn't get it out of my mind that I choked right there on the stage when I was so close to getting a wider audience. So when I quit everything, it was so I could have more time to do my thing and improve my craft. That's when I started paying much more attention to how I looked and sounded. So I'm not really surprised that I've gotten bigger. It's about proving that I am worthy to be up on that stage again. I think one reason so many people are drawn to your videos is because of your super energetic dancing. Where do you get the moves from, and what inspired you to start dancing? Dance is the most motivational thing you can do, I think. There's nothing quite like hitting a move right on the beat. I think most people have forgotten about dance. I've never seen anyone putting out solo dance videos on Facebook. Even though we're all interested about what other people's styles are. You used to have Soul Train and things like that, but not anymore. It's gotta be about good music though. It's gonna be something that really makes you groove. I don't think I've borrowed my dance moves from anyone else. It's just a form of personal expression that's unique to me. The mirror really helps. If there was no mirror, I don't think there would be buffcorrell. I remember once my teacher wrote to my father, "If your son concentrated on his studies as much as he does his looks, he'd be a straight A student." But a mirror helps you see who you are and visualize yourself. It connects me to my body. That's helped me realize that I'm different. Ever since I was a kid, I used to ask my father, "Is something gonna happen to me? Am I gonna change?" Look at me now. Is your father a big part of your life? Yeah, I think so. I actually joined the military because I wanted to follow my father's footsteps and belong to something. Wear the uniform, you know? But in that time in training, really made me realize that I was different, that I couldn't fit in. I was drinking and smoking cigarettes for so long and trying to hide myself and who I truly am. But I think I've learned not to do that anymore. I get pretty put off when people think what I'm doing is a joke, or that I'm putting on a character. This is how I genuinely am. Lady Gaga says, "Born this way." People don't know my life. They're not close to me. They don't understand. Wait, you were in the military? That was probably one of 2 life-changing experiences for me. I think a lot of people go into basic training, you know, super serious and looking to do harm themselves. But I was really enjoying the exercises and the food I was eating. I wanted abs at the end of it. So I was just focusing on getting myself into the best soldier I could be. Actually, when I was out there on the field doing the chants and marches, I just couldn't stop dancing. I remember the drill sergeant pulled me out in front of everyone just to make fun of me. But I couldn't help myself. When you hear that left, 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 right, left, it's like the beat hitting, and it just made me want to go, ooh! I think a lot of people enjoyed basic training, but The Army's different. It's just like a 9 to 5. My first station was Missouri, and I really enjoyed that. But when I got sent out to Korea, that's probably what broke the camel's back. I didn't feel like I belonged, and I never felt like I was in the community with the other soldiers. I was always broke, and I was constantly smoking, drinking, and eating bad. I would eat Snickers for a morning meal because no one was telling me I couldn't do that. You know, even in the Army I had a photo of myself up on the wall. I used to cut pictures of my head and put them on Michael Jackson's body. I was disappointed because I wanted so bad to be a first sergeant, which is what my father was. But at some point, I was just sick of being unhealthy and not matching those images, and so I had to come back home. I think it made Buff Correll stronger and made me more determined to become my own different self.
But wait! There's more!
You mentioned 2 life-changing experiences. What was the other one? When I came back from Korea, I was very depressed. I went back to drinking, getting into gangs, and messing around with women. People could see I had changed, and that I wasn't really comfortable. But then something else happened. I was with a group, and we were doing our own thing and constantly getting into fights at the club. It's a small town, you know? There were some people that weren't approving of that. I got shot at a restaurant, and I remember running away from the scene thinking, I can't catch a break. I can't do nothing that would prevent this from happening. I gotta change my life. That night, I went home and threw away my phone, my cigarettes, my liquor, everything I was kicking it with. I thought about going to the gym, and I hired a personal trainer. Diaz was his name. All my friends were telling me, hey man, let's get back to the streets, let's keep doing our thing. But once I saw my abs, it went from this downhill spiral to having a choice. I either go back and get killed, or keep doing this thing. I think when that gun went off, I really got a kick in the butt. The posters on the wall of yourself, is that an empowering thing then, to show how far you've come? People call it narcissism on my Facebook, but I really think it's important for me. When I wake up and the first thing I see is the poster of me, it's like taking a step back and looking at myself. You never know what's gonna happen the next day or after that. So having these old photos of myself gives me a lot of confidence. It shows me that I've achieved something once. What's the long-term plan for the Buff Correll project? Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? I just think I'm gonna keep singing and dancing. I really want to dance for large crowds and motivating people to dance as well. I see myself one day doing sellout tours. Not in the immediate future, obviously, but I'm gonna continue no matter what happens. I want to get back on America's Got Talent and prove the world and myself wrong. Ever since that interview, Correll has been ignoring the interviewer's emails. Oh, Correll. He also managed to end up on a TV show called Tosh.0, where he was also interviewed, mocked, and eventually made an original song featuring the host of the show. I didn't know about this at all until a couple of days ago, and I've been watching Correll for a while. But apparently he's such an enigma that he deserved to have a spot in this program. Man, is he even more of an oddball when you seem to get to know him. He just talks. I'm gonna show you some clips from the show now, and you'll see the true, chaotic, yet dream-catching and innocent nature of this man.
I can't imagine what his pillowcase smells like.
Yeah, you're more like Puff Correll.
Yeah, I was Puff Correll.
What a guy. Now, to end off this short video, Correll is such an important aspect to the lifespan of YouTube and its history. And he's just an amazing guy as well. He's so pure, he's stuck in the 90s, and he clearly found his niche on the internet. He has a dream, a huge one, a buff one. He has seemingly never once replied to a comment, acknowledged his viewer base, or anything like that. This most likely implies that he's just in it for the record. He's in it for his dream. He's in it for him, and I love that about him. Like I said earlier, I want to talk a bit about how much of a lasting impact he's managed to hold throughout his career, and how he has broken the mold on so many levels. From the interview I read earlier, you could tell that he's so charming and has a lot of respect. He's had some really strange things happen to him, but all in all, it's about him. Many YouTubers, including me, focus more on what the fans think or what the haters think, rather than what, you yourself thinks. And Correll teaches such a great lesson, and I have so much respect for him. He won't even see this video, but I just wish he knew that his fans truly, truly love his content. He looks funny, he dances funny, he sounds funny, his warm-up is funny, everything's funny to us. But in my eyes, he's so motivating. He's a great example of a YouTuber that simply does not give a fuck about what others think. He's been through shit and he fought through it. And by the way, I'm very guilty of focusing more on the fans than myself. All of you have seen my community tab ramblings on shit on Discord as well. But still, in one way or another, he'll just make it through. And like he said, he's probably going to be doing this for the next 10 years. And by the way, he does not look his age. I know 40 is still technically young, but he looks like he's at least 29 or some shit like that. Right now, he's at almost 400,000 subscribers and has over 25 million views overall on his channel. To the people that see him in cringe compilations, or in your recommended as that weird video, he may just look like a self-absorbed, narcissistic serial killer that has pictures of himself in the open shirtless on his wall. But to me, he's my hero. So thank you, Correll Bufford, for inspiring me to continue YouTube and to think more about myself in a non-selfish, non-narcissistic way, in a self-improvement way, in a way that makes me think, I wish I was Buff Correll, dancing under the stars in front of my mirror with a picture of me right in the background. So thank you, Buff Correll. Keep on dancing.
Don't you give me up, please, don't